Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. First of all, actually I thought to take class at 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, in my area, it's a rainy as well as the power issues. So that's why I was not able to take. Apologies for that. Okay, so we will continue the interview questions. Ajami shared these questions. We can discuss these questions. Once these questions will be completed, then we can go and we can discuss our regular questions wherever we stopped yesterday. Is that be okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So first question is, how do you protect the internal server? So already we discussed this one. So example, what are the different types of protection mechanisms we will use for Windows and Linux? So can anyone give the answer? How do you protect internal server? Already we discussed day before yesterday this answer already.
By using hardening benchmark, no, sir.
By using hardening benchmark. Next one.
Regular patch updates.
Regular
Complex
patch updates.
Vulnerability management.
Vulnerability management.
DLP.
DLP.
Disk encryption.
Disk encryption.
Security logging.
Security logging.
Using strong passwords.
Using strong passwords or complex passwords. Next one.
User-based access.
Yeah, identity and access management, nothing but role-based access control. Next one. Multi-factor authentication mechanism. So that is the way how we can prevent this server. Okay. So this question maybe we'll ask in different way also. So how can we protect Windows server and Linux server? That is also possible. Okay. So that is already we have seen. Next one, I have attached the phishing mail. How do you identify the IP address? How do you identify that is a phishing or not? So how can you see this one? First, how we can identify the IP address? So as I said, SMTP server we have to go, and whatever email we received, so we have to open either header analyzer. So there we can identify. Otherwise, in case in the header analyzer, if you're not able to identify, then we have to contact the SMTP server team or Extend server team. Okay, then we'll come to know that from which IP that particular IP address is received. And also additionally, in case if you are using email gateway, so in the email gateway directly we can identify. So from which IP that particular email is received. I'm repeating this answer we can explain 3 to 4 ways. First one is every email contains the IP address as well as domain and also header analyzer. So we have to open the email, whatever email we received, and the header analyzer we have to open and we can identify the IP address. That is first option. Second option, SMTP server or Exchange server or Unified Communication Server team we can contact and they can provide the IP address. So third one is email gateway. So our email security solution, whatever email it is received, directly you can identify the IP address. So once you are identifying the IP address, what is the second option they asked? So how can you identify whether that email is a phishing or not? So we have to identify the domain validation. Sorry, we have to do the domain validation. We have to do the IP address validation. We have to do the header analyzer or analysis. And additionally, if that email contains malicious URL link, that validation also we have to do. If that email contains malicious malware attachment. So in such a way, I can do the phishing email investigation. So in that reputation checks, I will do the sender policy framework validation, DMARC validation, DKM validation, and also DNS record published or not, written path validation. So in such a way, I can do the phishing email investigation. So that is the second answer. Okay. Is it clear, second one?
Clear, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Third one, if SPF get fails, what do you do? So even this one, as I said, when you are using MX tool or maybe IP wide or maybe some other tools, couple of times what will happen, because this MX tool as well as virustotal.com all other tools completely signature based detection mechanism. If the domain or IP address or URL link or maybe hash value, if it is existing, then only it will provide the respective validation check, reputation, nothing but. So either it is a passed or failed. So if it is existing, it is showing as a passed. Sometimes it will show as a failed. That doesn't mean that is a completely phishing email. So that's why they are asking this question. If SPF get fails, what do you do? So we have to suspect that one as a phishing email. If SPF, what is the answer we have to say? If SPF is getting failed, I will suspect that one as a phishing email. After that, I will go and I will reconfirm with SMTP server team or XN server team, whether they have done any SPF configuration to that particular domain in the SMTP server or XN server or Outlook server or email server. So based on their confirmation and based on my validation, finally, I can say whether that email, whatever we received, whether it is a phishing email or not. Okay, so I'm repeating once again. So if SPF get fails, I will go and I will see whether that particular, I will suspect that email is a phishing. So I will go and I will do the validation from myself. And also I will reconfirm it once again with the SMTP server team or Exchange or Outlook or UCS team, whether SPF configured for that particular domain or not. So based on that confirmation, finally, I can conclude that whatever email is received, whether it is a phishing email or not. So that is the third one. So next one is what are impossible travel activities? See, this is already we discussed. Can anyone say what is the exactly fourth one? Already we discussed this scenario. What are impossible travel activities? But that time I said in different terminology or different acronym or different words. What are impossible travel activities? Anyone?
For example, if end user system got compromised in some other place and we're working for the client in some other place, in that case we can travel to that particular end user.
In this scenario, we have discussed one of the scenario name is called VPN authentication or Okta authentication failure login attempts from multiple geolocations. Did you remember? Seventh one or maybe sixth one scenario we have seen. VPN or Okta authentication failure login attempts from different geolocations within short span of time. Okay, same scenario. That is also called as impossible travel activities. Meaning here from multiple locations. So user or maybe attacker is trying to do the activity. Okay, indirectly that is that scenario only. Wipro, especially if you are going for Wipro, they will use this word, impossible travel activities. That means from different geolocations, either end user or maybe attacker login failure attempts are coming, or actions are coming, or activities are coming. So that is called impossible travel activities. Okay. So how can you identify the person as a real or fake? So based on the, whatever authentication failures or actions or activity we received. So I will take the IP address. So first of all, whether it is internal IP or maybe public IP. So after identifying the end user or maybe attacker IP address, okay, so classification wise, it's a private or public. If it is a public, then I can go and I can take the IP address. I will go to the respective reputation validation. If it is after verifying the respective MX tool or maybe virustotal.com validation, I can conclude that it is a attacker IP address, like a fake IP address, or maybe it's an internal IP. So two options here. So if the activity is happening from internal IP, it's a false positive. If the activity is happening from the external attacker or public IP, it's an intruder, something he has done. That is the way how we can identify. What is the answer for second question here? How can you identify the person as a real or fake? Based on IP address. What the answer? Based on IP address, whatever that activity it is happened. So it's a public IP, it is a fake. Sorry, if it is a public IP, it is a real. If it is internal IP, it's a fake incident. False positive and true positive. Nothing but real or fake means false positive and true positive. So next one, example. So they are asking scenario also. Person who working in America, all of a sudden that particular person came to India. So meaning here, different actions or activities or authentication failures are coming from America as well as India also. As I said, example, if you're using VPN connectivity, site-to-site VPN option is possible, and also remote VPN also possible. In case you are connecting to the remote VPN, in that scenario, most of the cases, obviously you are in India. So our VPN authentication failures will come from the India location. But your headquarters is there in the example USA. In that scenario, if you are connecting to site-to-site VPN, wherever VPN is located in the USA, that time authentication failures will appear from the USA location. Okay, that doesn't mean that something is got compromised. So we have to go and we have to see from which IP that actions or activity or authentication failures are happening. Okay, so according to that IP, then we have to go and we have to do the analysis. That is also we discussed. So VPN authentication failures, false positive, VPN authentication failures, true positive. So mainly why these type of alerts will be generated, because as I said, whenever you are connecting to VPN, always it will choose the ISP router. So that ISP router, whatever telecommunication vendor is using. So in India, you know already BSNL or Airtel or Vodafone and so on. In the Europe example, people come Ericsson, and also in the USA, AT&T, Orange Business Services, okay, and UK Vodafone, okay. They have other telecom vendors as well. Example, Dubai Etisalat or Navaras. So these are all the different types of telecom vendor service providers. They have the default gateway routers. Whenever you are connecting to this VPN, so first it will go to the ISP router. From ISP router, it will reroute to the telecommunication provider router. So that's why we will receive these different types of authentication failures from different geolocations. Okay, same scenario. So please go through the whatever instant we discussed. Impossible travel activities, meaning here from different geolocations, some of the actions or activity or authentication failures or success or it is happening. That is the fourth one. So next one, firewall will always block public IP, but sometimes it will allow. Why? I don't think so. Firewall will always block public IP. Who said firewall will block public IP? So basically, by default, if you are purchasing the firewall, implicitly it is denied. Whatever inbound traffic is coming and whatever outbound traffic it is going, so completely it will block it. Okay. So it is not clear. For me, this is not clear. Whatever fifth one, Azam is written, it is not clear. Firewall will always block public IP. I don't think so. Firewall will always block public IP. So based on the policy, so I will agree implicitly by default, implicitly it will deny. Whatever traffic is coming, either inbound traffic or outbound traffic. Nothing but the traffic is coming from external to internal as a inbound. The traffic is going from internal to external as a outbound. In that scenario, it will block it automatically. Okay. In this scenario, how to ask back? Could you please explain what is the exact question? I did not understand. I did not understand, frankly speaking. Okay. So firewall will always block public. I don't think so. Firewall will block public IP always. So if it is firewall is blocking public IP, then how we can do the business? How we can do the business? So how we can access our external applications, or how public they can access to our internal applications? So question itself may be, as per my opinion, as per my personal note and my experience, I don't think so it is a correct one. Okay, so maybe I will go and I will check in the Google as well. Is it clear, fifth one?
Cleared, sir. Might be, so he just wanted to check our firewall skills. So some
Yes.
tricky questions he must be asked that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one, have you worked on integration? So that is the first question. Under that question, once again, on which tools have you integrated? Example about the integrated tools, their process as well as methods. So nothing but log integration methods. So for each and every log integration method, I already provided. Example, syslog server method, firewall log integration using syslog server method, collect agent method. So example, one of the server you can take, you can use a collect agent method, flow collector method. So routers and switches traffic, and WMA method. So, and also MSRPC method. So it's for Windows logs integration method, cloud connector method. We have seen already Amazon Web Services logs integration. Okay. Next one, API token management method, SaaS-based application, example, SOFO CDR. So that is the question, sixth one. Have you ever worked on the integration? Yes, I worked on the integration as a L2 analyst. This is applicable to only L2 guys. L1, if they will ask, you can say, I don't know, sorry, I don't have the access to integration part, but I know how to integrate. So sixth one, I'm repeating. So whoever is putting less than 3 years of experience, you can say, I don't have I don't have access to integrate the log sources to the SIM tool. But whoever is putting more than 4+ years of experience, those people, you can say, yes, I know how to integrate the or onboarding the log sources to the SIM tool. Okay, so that is the first one, yes or no, that is the first answer. In that same question, sixth one, second question, what they are asking, on which tools have you integrated? So example, firewall I integrated, example, Amazon logs I integrated, example, EDR logs I integrated, example, server logs I integrated. So next one, explain about the integrated tools and their process as well as methods. Nothing but which method used to integrate the respective firewall, or which method used to integrate the server, which method used to integrate the Amazon Web Services or cloud, or which method you integrated to the example SaaS-based application. So each and every, that total 7 to 8 methods, whatever we discussed, you should know everything. Please go through that one once again. I given examples as well. So next one, in your current working organization, while you're working, did you get any network attacks? Yes. So answer is yes. So in my organization, so when I'm working on the cybersecurity SOC operations, so I received network attacks. Example, TCP flood, DOS, DDoS attack, all malware category of the attacks. Even spoofing attacks as well. All these are part of network attacks. So even we discussed more than 40, it's a part of cyber and network attacks, and around 10+ against OS top 10 attacks. So that is, the answer is yes. You can give 3 to 4 examples also. Malware category, flooding category, and also spoofing category, and so on. Under SSL and TLS, which is most important? What is the answer, guys?
TLS
TLS,
is
sir.
What is the reason?
SSL is the oldest version, sir.
Yes.
TLS is the latest version.
So, okay, that is sufficient to convince the interviewer. So how we have to say, SSL full form is secure socket layer. TLS full form is a transport layer security. So SSL will use a weak cryptography algorithms. SSL will use a weak ciphers. If you are using SSL 1.0, SSL 2.0, SSL 3.0, we will receive the attacks like a Sweet 32 attack, Poodle attack, and also one more attack, OpenSSL attack, and so on. But on the other hand, TLS 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Even TLS 1.0 and 1.1 is outdated versions. If you are using TLS 1.0 and 1.1, it will use a weak encryption. Because of that particular reason, confidentiality, integrity, non-reputation will damage. Okay. And TLS 1.2 as well as TLS 1.3, it will use a strong ciphers with 102 for bit size, 2048 and 4096. So they're asking only which one is most important. So finally, TLS is very important. TL is most important. Okay, because if you're using TLS, it will provide strong encryption mechanism. It will provide the strong encrypted key length, and also it will provide the confidentiality, non-reputation, integrity. Yeah, so these are all the things it will be provided. So nothing but it is indirectly symmetric and asymmetric cryptography algorithm. Under that, we discussed about integrity part, right? Same thing. So what is IPsec? So additionally, what is IPsec use? How important it is? So IPsec full form is Internet Protocol Security and port number 500. So this IPsec can be used for the VPN connectivity, that too remote VPN. Okay. So what is the important of this one? So important of this one is whenever user is connecting through remotely, example work from home option and so on, in that scenario, this IPsec is very important protocol. It will form a tunnel between the remote user to the respective office location wherever applications are deployed or hosted, so that it can provide the encryption and once again, confidentiality, integrity, non-repudiation. So that's why IPsec is very important. So mainly for VPN. Indirectly, they're asking VPN. You should understand. So IPsec is Internet Protocol Security, port number 500. So IPsec used for VPN connectivity purpose. Okay, no need to explain site-to-site VPN. Remote VPN is fine because so under IPsec only there are two types of VPNs. One is IPsec VPN or remote VPN. Second one is site-to-site VPN. So they are expecting only remote VPN connectivity. In case if they're asking about deeper analysis, in that scenario, you can say VPN process. So VPN process mainly contains three components. One is VPN client, second one is VPN portal, third one is VPN gateway. VPN client can be deployed or installed on every end user machine, nothing but laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop. So once the user is providing the credentials like username and password, clicking on the respective login button or submit button, then it will go to the VPN portal, and VPN portal, it will list nearest gateway routers. It will choose the nearest gateway router. From that nearest gateway router, it will go and it will connect it to our office headquarters or maybe office location. Finally, a tunnel will form between the respective remote user to the data center or maybe headquarters of the office. When the user is accessing the application, only traffic will go in that particular tunnel. That is the way how you have to explain. So that is about the 9th one. Next one. What is difference between phishing email and spam email? So phishing email will trick the end user. Attacker will trick the end user by sending an email. So he will attach so he will use spelling mistakes. He will use invoice copies. He will use malicious URL links. So gift card, voucher cards, and so on. There are different types of phishing. One is spear phishing or whaling. Okay. So coming back to spamming, spam is mainly for advertisement purpose. We will use the spamming email. So example, any product people, if they want to advertise their products in that scenario, so a spam email, they will send it. So that is the mainly for the difference between phishing email and spam email. So spam email it's not 100% phishing email. Spam email is 100% is not phishing email. It's unwanted emails basically. Unwanted emails, most of the cases. Okay, so that is the difference between phishing and spam. Next one, what is the difference between EDR and SIM tool? So EDR tool is dedicatedly applicable to endpoint security or endpoint protection. So it will working on the concept is called signature based, as well as the machine learning mechanism, heuristic approach, and also behavioral pattern mechanism or baseline method. So, but EDR tool, it will do detection as well as a blocking. On the other hand, SIM tool, it is a cybersecurity SOC operation monitoring tool. It is a log collection, log monitoring, log analysis, log processing tool, but it will not block. Incidents, it will not block, or malicious activity will not block. Main difference is EDR, it's for endpoints. SIM is for entire monitoring part. That is the first difference. EDR tool will block, but SIM tool will not block. Okay. So that is the main difference. Will the antivirus tool identify the ransomware attack? Yes. So antivirus or EDR tool will identify the ransomware attack. So even if you are going for the policies configuration, example, we have threat prevention policy. If you are opening the threat prevention policy, we have seen ransomware related policies also there under the threat prevention, right? So yes, EDR tool will monitor and also it will block ransomware type of attacks. That is the answer. So next one, under the true negative, how do you identify the attack? First of all, true negative meaning here, alert incident is happened, but alert is not received. True negative. True means here incident is happened. So negative, alert is not received. So we discussed about false positive, true positive, false negative, true negative, right? True negative is very dangerous one out of all these. Okay, that time itself we discussed. So true negative is a dangerous one. Why? Because incident is happened, but alert is not received. If alert is not received, how we will come to know whether somehow the malicious or abnormal or suspicious activity will happen? Okay. So coming back, that is the first one. Under true negative, how do you identify the attack or incident received here? Incident happened, but no. So that's what they are saying. So I did not read fully. Here incident happened, but no alert. How do you identify it? It is very difficult to identify. Unless otherwise, if the end user is giving complaint to us, we cannot identify. That is the answer. So like a manual malware investigation we discussed, right? Almost similar to that one, only true negative. Without using any EDR tool, if something is got compromised, so if the end user is giving complaint to us, then only we can identify. Otherwise, it's impossible. Is it clear? 13th one.
Clear, sir, but do we have any specific tools for it to identify that?
No, impossible. There are no tools for this scenario.
Fine. Sir.
Only end user has to give complaint to the either SOC operations team or maybe corporate IT team. In that scenario only we can identify. So yes, in this is regularly they will ask question this one as well, but there are no tools are available, Azam.
Fine, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Next one, for DLP, which tools do you use in your organization? So for CDR, McAfee EPO. For DLP tool, which tool only they are asking? They're not expecting any other description. For DLP, which tool you are using in your organization level? So for CDR. In so for CDR also we have DLP option is available. So, but other tools also we have. But in your resume, you are putting Sophos CDR. Better you can say Sophos CDR I'm using. Otherwise, directly you can say Sophos DLP I'm using. In Sophos DLP, I will configure the policies related to DLP. One is related to remote devices. The second one is websites. Third one is email. Fourth one is cloud. Fifth one is PIA data. So these are all the different types of 5 policies I will configure. Okay. Because data can be leaked using the pen drives, nothing but remote devices. Data can be leaked using websites, example, social networking websites like LinkedIn or maybe Facebook or maybe some other websites. So even data can be leaked using sending an personal email to professional and professional email to personal, vice versa. Okay. Last, cloud, and also a couple of times PIA data also will be leaked. So these are the 5 policies I will configure. And DLP agent we can deploy in the each and every end user machine, and that agent will communicate to the respective DLP server. DLP server based on the policies configured, either it will allow or block. Once that alert it is received, as a DLP analyst, I will go and I will see what type of, okay, so DLP data breach incident it is happened. So whether in real it is a false positive or true positive, or is there any data breaches happened? So that is about 15th one. Okay, it's a part of endpoint security. In your SOC career, till now, what tools have you been worked on, and explain about them clearly? So on the endpoint security side, I worked on the EDR tools like a Sophos EDR, Sophos HDS, HAPS also Sophos, file integrity monitoring also Sophos, DLP also Sophos. Okay, encryption I did not work on. Okay, so that is on the endpoint security. So next one, on the network security side, I worked on FortiGate firewall. Okay, on the vulnerability assessment side, I worked on Nessus tool. On the cyber security SOC operations side, I worked on IBM QRadar. If you want to add any additional tool, also fine. So on the ticketing tool wise, I worked on the ServiceNow. So these are all the tools. Okay. So at present, you are doing work from home. How do you do network isolation? Through VPN. How can you do our public network as well as private network? Through VPN. So if you are doing the network isolation, meaning here, normally if you are connecting without VPN, it is like a public network. If you are connecting to the VPN, it is like a private network. Now you are doing the network isolation. What is public and what is private? Private means our internal operations, whatever work from home option you are using. Okay. So network isolation, how we have to say? Using VPN. Okay. If a person is a login into different geolocations, and what is the process? Same thing. So almost 4th one and 18th one is same. 4th one and 18th one is same. Impossible travel activities, or maybe some of the actions or activities or failure login attempts are coming from different geolocations. So 4th one and 18th one, and whatever we discussed scenario, I think 7th or maybe 6th one, VPN or Okta authentication failure login attempts. These two are similar. Okay. So I think these are all the 18 questions. Azim, did you share any additional questions? I think that's all right.
Yes, sir, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a very good job, Azim. Thank you so much for that.
That's sir.
So
Fine, so thank you.
yeah, someone is asking something.
Sir, one question is missing, sir. Why attacker is the cross-site script? 15 questions.
Oh, sorry. Which one? 15th? 15th or 15th?
Yes,
Why
sir.
attacker
Yes, sir.
use the cross-site script? Sorry, apologies for that. Why attacker use this cross-site script? So attacker will use cross-site scripting to gain the unauthorized access or sensitive data exposure. Attacker will inject malicious scripts into the wherever input validation is required. Finally, he will gain the URL manipulations or input validation queries mismatch, and also redirecting to other websites or DPS websites. Finally, attacker will gain the unauthorized access. So why they are asking? To gain the unauthorized access or sensitive data exposure or stealing of some of the data. So that's why attacker will use cross-site scripting attack. Why they are asking? They are not expecting the definition. What is the reason for cross-site scripting attack, or what is the importance, or why attacker will use? So obviously to gain some data, or maybe to steal some data, credentials and passwords or PII data, or any confidential data or sensitive data exposure, to copying some of the data. So that's why cross-site scripting attacker will use. Clear? Okay. So that is about overall questions. So coming back. So yesterday we discussed a couple of questions. CIA triad, it's one of the popular question. I forgot yesterday. So confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So a couple of times they will ask CIA pillars also. They will not ask CIA pillars. They will ask like, what are the 3 different types of pillars for any organization? It is very, very important. So what are the 3 pillars are very important to any organization? But you will think like, okay, sir did not teach this one. I did not hear any about this one. I said already, whatever security you can consider for any organization, those 3 pillars are confidentiality, integrity, availability. Take authentication, authorization, encryption, integrity, non-reputation, spoofing, everything will fall under these three categories only. Three pillars whenever they want to say, obviously confidentiality, integrity, availability. Don't expect whatever terminology I am using in the class and whatever interview will ask same as it is. Okay, understood or not? Three pillars means three pillars for any organization, these three: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, if you don't know something, just you can ask back. Sorry, I did not get. Could you please repeat? Okay, that about CIA. Coming back, can anyone explain what about CIA tools we have? What are the different types of CIA tools we have? CIA tools we have. Anyone? CIA tools, what we are using in our organization. Example, I am the interviewer. What are the different CIA tools you are using for in your organization? What is the answer?
Encryption.
Firewall.
Firewall? Not
EDR.
sure.
Firewall also provide confidentiality integrity.
Any other? So what is the answer for this one? Integrity, file integrity monitoring tool I'm using in my organization. Availability, anti-DOS and anti-DDoS tools, firewalls, or IDS, IPS. Confidentiality, ADR, or privilege access management, or identity and access management. Even firewall also. For confidentiality, almost all the tools will come. For confidentiality side, so EDR is main tool, and also we have identity and access management tools. Okay, so then all the endpoint security related tools, even WAP also, even SIM tool as well. Example, PIA data is there in the logs. Some of the confidential data is missing or not. PIA data, example, username and password. In case password of the user is showing in the logs of the SIM tool, it is a breach or not, first of all. Example, one of the Facebook application is there. Password it is not storing in the hash value in front of the salt value. It is coming and storing directly as a same password, whatever user is entering. Whether it is a PIA data breach or not, first of all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. So personal identifiable information. So username and password also it's a part of PIA data. So if the user is entering the username and password and those username and password, it is coming in the logs, obviously it's a PIA data breach. Why PIA data breach and how it is a PIA data breach, anyone? How it is a PIA data breach? Who will see that username and password? Take anything, laptop or MacBook or workstation or server or a database, username and password. Okay, so coming in the logs as the same as it is with the with the plain text, without masking or without anonymization. In that scenario, obviously it is a PIA data breach. So who will see these passwords and usernames in the logs?
Admin.
Admin.
Team.
Security analyst, guys. Security analyst will analyze the logs or not?
Sir.
Will you do the log analysis or not?
Yes, sir. Yes. We will do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then in the logs, you will see the username and password or not?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Yes. Security analyst will see, even admin also will see. Yes, admin also will see. So that's why it's a PIA data breach. Okay. So confidentiality is for almost all the tools we use for confidentiality purpose. So coming back, integrity, file integrity monitoring tools. Example, Sophos, CDR or Veronis, other tools also we have. So availability. So availability meaning here. So obviously anti-DOS and anti-DDoS tools are firewall or network IDs and network IPS. So these are the CIA tools basically. That means first of all, you should understand what is confidentiality and which tool it is supporting, what is integrity, which tool it is supporting, what is availability, which tool it is supporting. You know the sorry, you know the answer, but within that particular time period, you are not able to, with a spontaneous way, you're not able to give the answer. So one more question. Can you give 3 or 4 examples of the CIA? Can you give maybe a couple of examples of CIA? Examples of CIA, where you will use regularly in your day-to-day activities.
So confidentiality means any data we should not leak, sir, like patent data or trademarks.
Okay. That's
Integrity
perfect. That regularly. Okay. Example, our code, product development code,
yes,
or
code
maybe
product.
application development code, or maybe our database. It's a confidential data, right? So it
Yes,
should not
sir.
be exposed. All these completely confidential. Your username and passwords also confidential to us. So that is
Yes.
about confidentiality example. What about integrity example?
Integrity means trustworthy of data. Unauthorized user should not access the credentials.
Yes. So example, hash values of the respective file. Maybe
Yes.
if some of the user is trying to access one of the file, DevOps user is accessing the security operations file. That is integrity breach. What about availability issue?
Availability issue means
Availability.
there should be horizontal and vertical growth in the organization, sir. There
Okay.
should, as the employees are growing, the system should be parallelly, there should be systems increased so that there should not be any outage problem.
Yes, outage problem. Super. Yeah.
Even a single second of outage will lead to huge business loss.
Excellent. Yeah, this is the perfect example. So this is the way how you have to explain in the interview point of view. Okay. Availability, all the servers should be available, all the database should be available, all the applications should be available. Even single minute outage also huge business loss. Okay. So that one also they will expect. Then one more very popular interview question. What is the difference between vulnerability, threat, and risk? Vulnerability, threat, and risk.
Vulnerability is nothing but weakness, sir. Risk is nothing but due to threat. Threat is nothing but alert, sir.
Okay.
Example, we can this question we can explain using your example which you have given, sir. Normal
Yes.
example.
Yes.
Mosquito example, sir.
Yeah. So yes, that's right. So better, yeah, Shuprita, I will give some corrections to you. You are saying very nice. Appreciate for that one. So any weakness in the system, better there itself we can provide 2 or 3 examples. Example, CCTV cameras are not there, firewall misconfiguration rules, maybe a DLP agent is missing or firewall agent is missing and so on. Okay, threat. So threat, if that particular weakness is exploiting, then it will become threat. Okay. So that is about
same
threat.
Example we have to take for all the 3, sir.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, sir.
Exam, take security guard. Security guard is not there. What is threat? Obviously, every guest will enter into the organization. Okay, so what is risk is involved? Obviously, financial loss as well as furniture loss and so on. If security guard is not there, that is a risk. So nothing but threat into vulnerability. How we have to say this one? Any weakness in the system, and give one example. And a threat, if that weakness will be exploited, then it will become threat. And give example. Next one is the risk. So threat into vulnerability or likelihood into impact. So that is the way how you have to give the answer. Okay. Yes, mosquitoes in example, one of the interview they asked. So if that mosquito has a hole and one of the person is sleeping under that mosquito, what is the threat and what is vulnerability and what is risk? Okay. That is no need to explain. That is one of the interview they asked. But normally, if they will ask this one, you can explain vulnerability
System level.
definition. Yeah, vulnerability definition and also example, threat definition, example, risk definition, example.
Yes.
Okay, coming back, what is the difference between VA and PT? What is the difference between VA and PT?
It is pen test, sir.
Okay.
VA is nothing but vulnerability
Vulnerability
assessment.
assessment.
Yeah, so you said only full form. What about differences?
Weakness in the system is nothing but vulnerability assessment, sir. Identifying the weakness.
Okay.
Pen test means we are going to test ourselves, sir.
Ourselves?
Whether there is a weakness in the system, servers, we are going to test, sir.
We have to test the applications.
Yeah, applications or servers.
So if you will give that answer, vulnerability it's fine, but pen test, if you are giving that answer,
Sir, pen test is a complete process of identifying the vulnerability and exploiting them and getting them into the system, we can say, so for PT.
Yes,
exploiting
correct.
and getting them into the system.
Yes. So vulnerability you said correct, Suprita, and Azam is perfect answer.
Yes,
vulnerability meaning here, so identifying the vulnerabilities, vulnerability assessment. First VA, vulnerability assessment, running the scans and identifying the vulnerabilities in the server, network, infrastructure, and application level. So nothing but identifying the weakness. That is vulnerability assessment. And penetration testing. Whatever vulnerabilities we identified, those vulnerability will be exploited or not. So how we can do that one? Using pen test. So using black box penetration testing, using gray box penetration testing, using white box penetration testing, we will see whether those vulnerabilities or weakness identified, whether attacker can be hacking or not, or hackable or not. That is called pen test. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the difference between VA and PT. It is also one of the most popular interview question. So coming back on the attacks wise, so obviously cyber kill chain process is a regular interview question. Even day before yesterday, Robert Bosch interview question. So what are the, how many steps are there in the cyber kill chain process?
7, sir.
Yeah, so you have to explain those 7. So that is very, very popular interview question. Next one is a MITRE framework. Okay, so MITRE framework also very popular one. For MITRE framework wise, you have to remember all those 14 tactics. Anything maybe they can expect interview question. And also, as I said, each and every tactic you have to remember 2 techniques as well. Okay, so especially as I said, 4 or 5 very, very important things are there. Lateral movement. So example, day before yesterday interview question, this one, lateral movement. And also next one is persistence, privilege escalation, data exfiltration. These 4 are very, very popular interview question under MITRE. And also not only just these 4, even remaining 14 as well. Initial access, discovery, collection, port scanning. So everything you have to remember, reconnaissance. So each and every tactic along with 2 techniques also you have to remember. Okay, clear? It is, these 2 are most popular interview questions, guys. So along with this one, and also one more is incident lifecycle management. Yesterday, one of the person is attended check interview. So what are the questions they asked in the first round? What is the difference between TCP and UDP? What is your roles and responsibilities? What is TCP 3-way handshake? What is cyber kill chain process? What is incident lifecycle management process? First round is cleared. Second round. So how soon you can join? And what is your current salary? And what is your expected salary? Why do you want to join in our company? So that's all. Second round is clear. Finally, that guy is selected. Sometimes luck also will favor if you are doing hard work.
That's true, sir.
Yeah. So 99% cases, your hard work. 1% obviously by God grace, he will help to us. Okay. I'm not bringing any release in here. Just it's a trustworthy. So trust, some trust should be there. Whatever religion you are following. Okay, that 100% he will help us.
Sir, why do you want to change the company? In that, what we have to answer, sir?
Why do you want to change the company? So one is whatever work I'm doing in my current organization, I know total end-to-end process 100%. So one is career growth wise to learn new opportunities, new possibilities. Second one is, so right now whatever I'm salary is getting, it is not sufficient. I have a lot of personal commitments are there. So that's why I'm looking for job change. It's a open-minded and straightforward answer with honesty.
And
So
also,
most,
sir, nowadays we having like 2 more questions also, like how loyal to you and how honest you are to our,
yes,
to our
exactly.
company.
Right,
And if
right.
we get, yes, sir, yeah.
So see, 100%, why most of the people will change the company? So will anyone will work for free of cost in an organization? No way. So what is the reason to behind the changing of the company? Maybe conflict of interest, one of the reason. So, but we should not give that conflict of interest in the interview. What I mean by conflict of interest between you and your manager. Maybe your manager is, I mean, scrutinizing you. Maybe his manager is harassing you and so on. So in between you and maybe your manager, some lot of arguments are there. So that is the reason. But we should not say all those negative thoughts in the interview point of view or negative things in the interview. It's clear. But obviously, what is the answer we have to say, especially for career growth wise and whatever tools I'm using, everything I learned already from past more than 4 to 5 years of the time period. And everything I explored already in my current organization. That is one of the answer. Second one, you can say on the personal commitment wise, whatever salary I'm getting, it is not sufficient. So I am constructing my house or I'm newly married and I have to take care of my children's education. So whatever salary I'm getting, it is not sufficient. That's okay. It's not a problem. But most of the people will change the company. Why? Because only salary they want more. Salary hike purpose only. Is it clear, Suprita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also, sir, yeah, actually, sir, nowadays, so people are asking, for example, so why do we want to hire you? So in that situation, we should say that, for example, let's take Google. And so we all know that to get into the Google, we need to have a face approximately like 7 to 10 rounds. So in that situation, we should say, because not everyone get the opportunity in the Google. So if I'm getting that, so it would be so very luck for me. So you should express and impress through the interview, then obviously your work get done like that.
Yeah. These questions basically I thought to discuss, but this is more into like a second round of the interview. So
True,
managerial
sir.
round, yeah, managerial round and HR round or maybe third round of the interview, we'll expect all these type of questions. Why we want to hire you? So why you want to join in my company? That means you should know about the company background as well. Whatever job you are applying, couple of guys I have seen, which company they are applying and which company they shortlist for interview also they are not sure. But they will attend the interview. I used to ask which company you attended the interview. I'm not sure. Those type of guys also there. That's what, whenever you are getting a call, so I will give a couple of tips as well. So whenever you are attending an interview, so you are getting a call today. So just you can make a note in Excel sheet or maybe in your notes. So from this consultancy, I got a number. So this is the, okay, so person called to me. This is the client for me and so on. What is the process? Even now also I'm making these Excel sheets. So whatever calls I'm getting to me, so I will make sure that, so whether I'm giving proper answers whenever someone is calling or not. Because regularly you will get the calls. Sometimes you'll get confusion here and there. You will give the wrong answers. So that I will show you practically how to do and what to do and so on, tips. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, so whatever company you are, okay, so attending the interview, you should know about that company background as well. So what is the revenue of the company, what type of business they are doing, so which business verticals they are working on, whether it's a consulting based company or service based company, or whether it's a product based company, all those things you have to do the background so analysis. Because in the second round of the interview, they will expect all these. So example, maybe why do you want to join in my company? So if you know about that company only, then only you can give the answer, right? Without knowing anything, how can you give the answer? What type of business they are doing, what type of business verticals they are into. So that's why if I will go for the interview, obviously I will do all these backgrounds. Okay, so anyway, so coming back on this one, so vulnerability, threat and risk. So in the vulnerability assessment wise, most of the cases, what is CVSS score, what is CVID and so on. So that is about vulnerability analysis wise, and the recent zero-day attacks, whatever it is there in the news. And additionally, they will expect one more thing. This is also second round of the interview, day before yesterday interview question once again. If you want to keep update yourself, what will you do? If you want to keep yourself up to date, what will you do? What is the answer?
Right. So we have to regularly update ourselves. We should go for the website. So it's related to cyber security, and apart from that, like any new attacks, so in the market, we have to study, and we can. So in such a way, we can answer to the interviewer.
Yes, that's perfect answer. So normally, if I want to keep myself up to date, I am following couple of blogs or websites like LinkedIn, so US Set, India Set, CSO Online, Naked Security from Trend Micro, so Dark Reading, and Bug Bounty Programs, ISACA, IS Square, European Council, so Cloud Security Alliances. These are all the regularly I will follow the websites, and I will see what all the news are coming into the entire worldwide or universe. So in case any new attacks are coming, those new attacks are impacting to our organization or not. So that is the way how I will keep myself up to date. Additionally, even I'm doing couple of certifications as well. Currently, I'm working on CISSP certification. Currently, I'm working on certified ethical hacking. This is the way you have to say. So meaning here, so whether you are a continuous learner or not, that is what they are expecting from your side. It's not about completely you are studying or not, that doesn't matter. So whether you are continuous learner or eagerly learn to new things or not, that's what they will expect. Okay, it's clear or not, this one? This is one of the popular interview question, this one also. So once again, in the anyways, all these are second round of the interview. It's not technical, it's a process oriented questions. In the second round of interview, one more question they will expect. Example, you are alone working in India and your counterparts are there in the USA, or maybe you are alone in a shift. In that scenario, one of the unknown incident is received to you. What will you do? Shall I repeat? You are alone in a shift. Okay, in that scenario, okay, so one of the unknown incident is received to you. What will you do? What is the answer? What is the answer?
Your escalation won't work, sir.
Escalation?
Matrix won't work, sir.
No, don't say that answer. Yeah, thank you so much. At least you responded something, Suprita, but we should not give that one. So why they are expecting this type of questions, you know? So they are expecting whether you are a self-learner or not, first of all. In this scenario, they are not expecting technical answer. All these are what is personal, they are testing your personality.
Yes.
Understood? They are not
Yes.
testing your technical skills at all. They are testing your attitude, your character, your honesty, as well as your personality as a person. How you will act in this particular scenario. What is the decision making you will do? It's not
Yes.
about technical question at all. But most of the people think like it's a technical question. Not at all. So what I will do in this scenario, in case if any unknown incident is received, in that scenario, I will go and I will check standard operating procedure documents or playbooks or run books. In case still it is not existing, then I will go and I will check in the knowledge base. Still, if it is not existing knowledge base, I will go and I will check in the Google or YouTube related to that particular instant. So everything I'm doing like individual contributor, self-learning mechanism I am doing. So still I'm not able to do and not able to identify all these ways within the self. In that scenario, I will contact to my L2 team or L3 team and escalation matrix I will follow. Understood or not? So first you have to do initial thing from your side, everything. Okay, so please don't say for this one, directly I will follow escalation matrix. First of all, I will do from myself. So is there any possibility of identifying the solutions? So with one way, example, so going to knowledge base and identifying the solution, or maybe, so going to the couple of already existing documents like a playbooks or run books or SOPs, and also just Googling it or maybe going to the YouTube and so on. It's like a self-learner basically. Okay.
Yes.
Your personality they are checking. It's not about how technical you are. So in case still all these methods I followed and I'm not able to identify, then I will go and I will check in I will follow the escalation matrix. I will go to the L2 team or L3 team, or I will contact my team members. That is the way how you have to answer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So always the second round of the inter is everything. It's a personality as well as your attitude, how you are answering. Okay, so your maybe character, maybe I should not say this word or not. Okay, so your aggressiveness, how you are answering the questions and so on. Okay, and also additionally, process-oriented questions. Second round of completely process-oriented. Then how much you will give priority to your family also. Family importance. Additionally, process-oriented questions. Okay, so all these different ways they will expect decision-making capabilities. So these things they will test it normally. So second round it's simple as per my opinion. And also loyalty, as Azam said, it's a loyalty and honesty and everything it will matter. Okay. So coming back to our attacks. So in the attacks wise, as I said several times, most popular attacks are brute force attack, phishing email attack, ransomware attack, malware attack, SQL injection attack, cross-site scripting attack. Next one, maybe out of these 50, they will expect more malware more. Maybe a couple of times they will go to even this one also. What is Trojan? What is worm? Worm, they will not ask that much. Worm. Next one, botnet. Okay. A 0-day. 0-day is very popular one. 0-day also very popular one. Privilege escalation is one of the popular one. So attacks everything. See, I will not give once again picking up the once again from the filtering out whatever we discussed. Every attack you should aware of, and what is the mitigation step, and what is the log source, and also additionally what are the tools we will use to mitigate those attacks. But as I said regularly, these questions they will ask regularly. Okay. So coming back on the cybersecurity point of view, we will expect everything. So whatever we discussed under the cybersecurity, each and every question is very important. What is SOC? What is SIEM? So what is the difference between L1, L2, and L3? What is the difference between false positive and true positive? It's a day before yesterday question. Okay. Next one. What is WOBA? What is threat hunting? Next one. What is retention policy? What is SIM architecture? SIM architecture regularly asked interview question. Okay. SIM architecture. And if you are putting two tools, then they will ask comparison also. Which tool is better as per your opinion? Whenever they will ask some of the comparison of the tools, you can say as per my opinion, as per my knowledge, as per my experience. These things you have to add. Sorry, these things you have to use. As per my opinion, I'm saying. So as per my experience, as per my knowledge. Okay. You are not saying compulsory this is the best tool in the market. You are saying your opinion and your experience. Understood? So these are the words also you have to use. Next one on the cybersecurity side, yeah, we discussed already incident lifecycle management process and couple of incident investigation. Then dedicated to IBM QRadar. So if IBM QRadar questions, if they will ask what is cohesive. Okay. Next one, what is building blocks? What is reference set? What is leaf? What is backend databases IBM QRadar will use? Like ARL query and PostgreSQL database. Then what is UBA in IBM QRadar? What is Pulse in IBM QRadar? How to create dashboards in IBM QRadar? How to create dashboards in IBM QRadar? How to create dashboards in IBM QRadar? How you will create dashboard in IBM QRadar? We discussed last night only this answer. Ajay, how will create dashboard in IBM QRadar?
So the actual dashboard, like so we will see like what all the incidents that are receiving and nothing but like overall summary of organization. Sorry. So under the dashboard, we have like application review and compliance review, network review, and the risk monitoring and the system monitoring, and threat and security monitoring and vulnerability management. So we can do customize also here, like unlimited dashboards we can create. So under dashboards, we can have like IP, like IDS, IPS. So like a top alarm, like signature, so event cloud, so which is related to IDS, IPS activity, like whatever the top alarm signature meaning. So here, like whatever attacks are coming to the organization, which means like IDS and IPS log. So that we are integrating to that. So example like source of file of Cisco, McAfee, Vectra, and Symantec, and so on, right? So top system attacker of IDS, IPS, and event counts we can see there. So whatever system that got attacked by like IDS, IPS logs, so that we are integrating to the SIM tool by using those systems in any system that got hacked, and that information that we can see under this one like that. So.
Yeah, you said whatever IBM QRadar dashboard contains, but I did not satisfy whatever answer you provided.
All right.
So how will you create a dashboard, newly dashboard? You said whatever existing dashboards are there. I will agree with you on this one. So really appreciate whatever you remember that entire architecture diagram in your mind. So system monitoring, performance monitoring, vulnerabilities management, security related alerts and firewall denied activity. And so IDS, IPS denied activity, EDR denied activity or allowed activity, top of performance applications and so on. So that's great. So this is whatever already customized, already by default dashboards are there, but my question is different. My question is, how can you create customized dashboard? First, what will you do? So as I said yesterday also, first we have to go to the IBM QRadar and we have to go to the log activity tab. So after going to log activity tab, I will write a query. First, I will write a query. After writing a query, I'll come back to the dashboard tab. Then I will create a new dashboard. I'll click on new dashboard and I'll provide the dashboard name and I'll provide the which log sources. So activity I want to see. So this is the answer. So first is query writing. Second one is dashboard creation. Without query, we cannot see anything in the dashboard. So even though if you are going to dashboard directly and you are clicking on the add dashboard, nothing will appear. First, we have to write a query related to what type of log sources, dashboard or summary if you want to see. So after that, there is no need to write everything a drop-down list. So basic search and advanced search is there. I'm not sure how many people went through that particular 62 to 69 videos. I have shown clearly how to create dashboard. Okay. Please go through that one once again. For this one, what is the answer? So first I will write a query in the log activity tab of IBM Curator. I will come back to dashboard and I'll click on a new dashboard and I'll create a new dashboard. That's all. Clear? So without writing a query, we cannot create a dashboard. It's one of the important interview question also. Okay. I think even day before yesterday, Aizam, you shared already this question. How to create dashboard.
Oh, yes, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
For sim tool also we may expect the same question, sir.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, and also what, yeah, I forgot to say one more thing. This is also day before yesterday interview question. What are the different types of alerts? Sorry, what are the different types of reports you will generate? What are the different types of reports you will generate? This answer you can say in the two ways. One is a technical reports. Second one is process-oriented reports. When I say technical reports, example, so all the firewall denied activity of the reports, all the health checkup reports, health checkup meaning here, what your logs are coming, all the logs sources, health checkup is correctly there or not. That is called health checkup report. So all these are technical. So firewall denied activity, health checkup reports. So next one is IDS IPS denied activity or allowed activity, top log sources activity. So then proxy related allowed as well as denied activity, EDR allowed as well as denied activity, as well as even a domain controller, brute force related allowed as well as denied activity, all these. That is about technical related. Coming to process oriented related reports, I will create daily reports. Example, per day, how many incidents are received? In that incidents, how many are open, how many are new, how many are pending or on hold, how many are work in progress, how many are closed. So daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly reports, annual reports, or half yearly reports. And those reports I will prepare in the PPT. And also additionally, I will do so incidents comparison chart, bar chart, pie chart, trending chart, week on week, month on month. So meaning here, so today example 100 incidents is received. Tomorrow 200 incidents are received. Day after tomorrow 300 incidents are received. So these are all daily incidents report. Okay. Weekly report means entire 1 week time period, how many incidents are received, how many are new, how many are work in progress, how many are on hold or pending, how many are closed. So that count, basically count. Additionally, most of the cases, if they were providing count, so it is not that much, visibility wise is not that much great. So always we have to represent in the pictorial point of view. When I say pictorial point of view, so most of the cases we have studied in below 5th class itself, bar chart, pie chart, next one trending chart or comparison chart. So how we can do all this? Whatever instance is per week, for example, per week, total number of instances are received 1000. So number of instances are closed 500. Number of instances are on hold maybe 100. So number of instances are work in progress 300. So that all the count. So now you have to create one bar chart for those 1000 incidents. So that is called bar chart or maybe pie chart or maybe comparison chart. Comparison meaning here comparing with 1 week with another week, or 1 month with another month, or 1 quarter with another quarter. That's called comparison chart. So all these are there in the part of PPT, PowerPoint presentation. If you are going to the PowerPoint presentation, on the top corner right side and also on the report side, we have all these options are there. Just we have to choose the entire Excel sheet, and we have to choose the bar chart or pie chart, whatever chart if you want to represent, so automatically it will come. So along with these one, basically L2 team and L3 team normally they do. Basically, not only technical perspective, even you should know about the Excel work also. So Excel work also you should be aware of. Okay. And also PPT presentations as well. When you're making a PPT presentations, your verbal communications as well as your written, especially written communication should be very high level. When I say high level, at least we should not use a normal vocabulary, because most of our clients are there in the other countries or other global clients. They should understand. You can make it simple, but opposite person has to understand. That's fine. Okay. So this one also they'll expect. Why I'm saying, even though 3+ years of experience guy is working in Happiest Minds, he's doing weekly reports and he's presenting to the customer as well. Okay, understood. So even you should be aware of all these Excel work as well as Word documentation creation, PowerPoint presentations, and so on. Okay. Yeah, couple of things are pending. We can discuss evening. Okay. So evening we can discuss Wireshark and additional interview questions. Possible, I will try to complete use cases. Tomorrow I will not take the class. Tomorrow I have some personal work. I thought to complete by tomorrow, but tomorrow it's not possible, but it's okay, not an issue. So Monday or Tuesday, you can put your resumes. Okay.
Sir, please upload the recording session. Sir,
Yes. Sorry, apologies from my side.
That's
After
okay,
this
sir.
call, I
No
will do that.
Fine, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
A small
You're
doubt is
welcome.
there, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually last week I didn't attend the class, sir. This is a doubt regarding VPN authentication, sir.
Yes, please.
In that VPN authentication, Microsoft Outlook we have to use to get the mail address, you have told us, sir, using the IP address.
Using IP address, first of all, you can use in case example, only IP address, Suprita.
Yes.
In that scenario, you can go to command prompt. In case in the alert, username is not coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So most of the cases, 99% of the cases, username will come in the alert.
Yes, sir.
Still username is not coming. So then what is the thing we have to do? So we have to go to the command prompt and we have to give nslookup command.
Yes,
so
sir.
nslookup command coming, nslookup and IP address if you are giving, then it will come the respective username or maybe computer name. So once you are identifying the username, then what you have to do? So take that username, you can go to Teams meeting.
Yes, sir.
So I will share my screen, but 1 second, I will stop the record session. Give me 1 second. 1 second.